let me introduce you to the speed bumps out of hell.
These have been here for months, and today, in true video game fashion, it is time to secure the evidence and document the scene of the crime. Because honestly now, look at this weapon of mass destruction. It's 5 inches high, has extremely sharp edges, and is ingeniously designed to completely kill any car's suspension. I mean, not even a rally car could drive over one of these at a reasonable speed. A rally car, huh?
Welcome to this episode of
Talks Retro Corner.
Today we will take a trip down memory lane and talk about the 1993 arcade hit World Rally Championship. I remember playing this as a small brat in the arcade of my grandma's village.
You liar! You always watched us play! You tried it once!
Well, so I was deeply impressed by some older kid's skill, and when I tried it out myself, well, I sucked. Luckily the Evercade came around and they started releasing arcade collections on it. When I first stumbled over a gameplay video of Gaelco Arcade 1, I was sold immediately and ordered their home console with a couple of cards. And there it was, my childhood dream. My nostalgia level had reached level 60 and I could finally play World Rally Championship. Get good at it and become that cool dude from my memories. Just older? And if you want to play the real deal, I found the arcade machine not to be that uncommon. If you live in the Chicago area, you should definitely pass by Galloping Ghost Arcade and play a couple of rounds. So before we head over to the unboxing, let's review a bit this game's history. World Rally Championship was developed by Spanish developer Sigurat, published by Gaelco, and was a huge success. It sold over 23,000 units in 1993 and was supposed to feature rally legend Calos Sainz. However, that guy changed from Toyota to Lancia, and after a 2-year development it was just so much easier to cover his face on the title screen with a giant helmet and leave the game as is. But you can still see a lot of banners with his name on, as well as Carlos himself appearing in the credits. The game was almost impossible to emulate, well, until 2008 when Gaelco co-founder Javier Valero provided the unencrypted keys for the PCB on a thumb drive. And this during a press conference at the Retroyeda 2008. He just slammed that thing on the table.
Se había mandado para decapar el chip y poder leer con microfotografía el programa interno que hay.
At this point, a huge shout out to recreativas.org for the pictures and video. If you are interested in the Spanish arcade scene, absolutely make sure to visit their homepage. But back to the present. And before starting to talk about the gameplay, let's have a look at Evercade's physical collection.
Like all their cards, Gaelco 1 comes in a plastic clamshell, inside a full-color manual and the cartridge. It kinda reignites this old-school feeling that I never had since I was a DOS kid. Anyway, the booklet introduces the company behind the card, as well as all the games that are on the card. It gives you the basics, short introductions, controls, some tips. And here's what I really do not get. These cards are definitely for the older generation, right? I mean, for people that want to relive their childhood memories. And well, the game is from 93, so yeah. My eyes are starting to be, let's say, less focused. Why? Why do you use like the smallest possible font size ever?
Alright, now that we have looked at the physical...
That was like super lame, bro! Not even a special edition! So long, sucker!
Anyway, let's insert the card and pick up the controller.
Okay, here we are. World Rally Championship is a fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, top-down arcade racer. And I'm not kidding here. If you got a heart condition, do not play this game. I got shocked when I checked my stress level after recording the footage, since I had never seen it this high. The game is way too fast to react to anything you see in front of you, so just go by the indicated arrows. Since the controls are spot on, you will get used to them very fast and become one hell of a driver. For 1993, this game was crazy fast and pure eye candy. At the time, Carlos Sainz was like super popular in Spain, and having a game where you can, well, kinda, step into his shoes was absolutely awesome. The game takes you across 4 rallies with 3 stages each. You drive on tarmac, gravel, and snow, during the day as well as at night. But no worries. The night stages, while looking really cool with only the headlights illuminating the environment, are actually the easier ones. In later stages, the surface changes within a stage, and I vividly remember this upcoming S-curve here, where it changes twice. Twice! It was just pure awesomeness when I was standing beside the machine watching my childhood hero beat the game. So you do race alone, against the clock. The green bar indicates that you are still good, but once it starts showing a bit of red, you are behind. The game is fair though, and you can still finish most stages even if you crash once. But be warned, once I crashed, it somehow broke my focus and it was really difficult to get it back. And you only have 60 seconds to complete each stage. After that, well, you lose. But can continue driving until the timer hits 80. At that point it's...
Time out!
In this wonderful Spanish accent. To get a bit of an advantage and save some time, there are a couple of shortcuts in some stages. And here it's all about risk versus reward. Also try to avoid steering while driving through puddles. Other than that, your faithful 4-cylinder 365 horsepower 4-wheel drive Toyota Celica GT4 Companion sticks to the road like superglue to your fingers. Alright, the scoring system. And who would have guessed? The faster you are, the better your placement and the higher your score. That's if you care to make it onto the leaderboard.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit more about this gem of a game. Whether you play it at home or enjoy it at the arcade, do not sleep on World Rally Championship. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment and subscribe, and let me know your earliest memory of this game. Thanks for watching and see you on the next episode of Talks Retro Corner. Luckily I was immediately sold and ordered the home console. With a couple of cards. Mars Village. Let me introduce you to the speed bumps out of hell. Wait a second. Wait. It's coming.
Time out!